It's supposed to be a surprise, okay? Welcome, y'all, to the pop-up. I am filling in for my brother. O is out on assignment, but I'm going to be filling in for my brother today. So happy for y'all to be here on this What the Funk Day. We're going to talk about What the Funk Fest in just a minute, but in the meantime, I'm just so happy just to be with y'all. It's just an amazing Wednesday. The birds are chirping. I've been able to spend an amazing afternoon with our amazing director, Eric Calligraphy. Can we please clap it up for my guy, Eric? Mm-hmm. Definitely just love him. He's holding it down. But before we begin, I need y'all to like and share and subscribe to Converge. If you see this stream going live, that means you need to share it. We want y'all to tap in on the comments. You can learn more about The Day with Trey. You can learn more about Coleman Comments in the 100th episode of We Live in Color coming in September and more. Go to whereweconverge.com to see why Black media matters. And first and foremost, we will also need to give it up for our amazing sponsors. Eric, you know we got to give it up for our folks at Rewise Wines. It's a Black LGBTQ-owned gym in downtown Seattle. I mean, they're sharing everything, all the greatest wines around in the Pacific Northwest over there at 1913 2nd Avenue. Make sure you treat yourself. They also got some non-alcoholic wines, and when I say they are pretty good, I drank a little bit before we got here, right? Check out Rewise Wines. We're so happy to have you as a partner, and we love you. And you know, we couldn't go without thanking the amazing Coleman Commons. We got Coleman Commons. Coleman Commons, y'all checked out Coleman Commons. Yeah. It was amazing, right? It is the new Seattle premier waterfront cultural venue, right? And it creates a destination space for our community. We've done birthdays. We've done engagement parties. We have done it all. You need to be able to visit Coleman Commons today. Make sure you visit ColemanCommons.com and make sure you let them know that Deaunte sent you, okay? Shout out to Ashley, who's waving in the back. And I want to just really give it up. We said it's a What the Funk Day. So yes, please give it up for our amazing guests, Mixed Pucks Aplenty and Rebecca.
That's us. That's us.
Where was the clap at? Eric didn't get the clap. I'm like, why is this? Right. And Rebecca M. Davis, right?
That graphic. Yes.
It was a little too silent now. I'm literally giving up
us admiring
folks that
ourselves.
Right.
Should have went flowers.
Let's get you all right, Pucks?
Yes, I'm happy to be here.
So What the Funk Day, because What the Funk Festival is coming up.
Yes.
You've been putting in the work, holding it down for community. And let me just give you a proper intro. Let me give the proper intro for both, okay? We got Mixed Pucks Aplenty, is a renowned burlesque performer, activist, and founder of multiple festivals, including What the Funk, an all-Black burlesque, BIPOC Burlesque Fest, right? Recognized and influenced for their advocacy. They were honored in 2022 as Performer of the Year by Seattle Gay News and served as a 2023 Grand Marshal for Seattle Pride, okay? Give it up, y'all, for Miss Pucks Aplenty. And then, to their left, we have Rebecca M. Davis, okay? Rebecca M. Davis is an MC and producer who hosted festivals ranging from the West Coast to the Fringe Festival. Through her production company, Stay Up Late Show, she's produced the What the Funk Fest and recently wrote and produced a full-length theatrical production of Fried Green Beaches.
Oh, yes.
I was gonna say fried green tomatoes, but Fried Green Beaches. Yes. All right, give it up for Rebecca M. Davis.
Oh, hit my mic.
First and foremost, how y'all feeling today?
Good. Glad to be here.
Yes.
Glad to be here. We're in Crunch Week.
Yeah.
Crunch Week.
This is Crunch Week. We are 1 week out from people descending on Seattle for What the Funk. So, yeah.
We are exactly 1 week away from our welcome dinner
That's right. Sponsored by Stay Up Late Show and
bodysuit
Bodysuit.
from
So,
Chicago.
yeah. So it's I mean, we've done this 7 years now. You'd think it'd be like less butterflies, but it's still butterflies.
It's a lot of butterflies, and there's a lot of butterflies going on up in this city.
Yes.
Indeed.
So, you
Talk
know,
about
and we
it.
was doing a little gossiping about it on the side. But Eric, let's do a little bit of A7 for us, right? Okay, Seattle City Council approves $300,000 to support trans and queer refugees and also bans junk rental fees. Now, yesterday, the Seattle Council unanimously approved $300,000 budget to amend to make sure that we're supporting LGBTQIA organizations tasked at supporting an increase of transgender and gender diverse refugees. Now, according to our amazing Madison Jones, the council also approved to ban junk rental fees and for tenants. Now, while council members also expressed their support for the city's transgender community, our council president described the funding as a start. And the proceedings faced a little pushback with conservative figures, specifically from King County Republican Party. Now,
As a surprise to no one.
surprise, surprise.
Shock,
What are
shock.
y'all thoughts?
I mean, so I was under the impression we had like there was like a group that was put together to kind of like look into what kind of support trans and gender diverse refugees we're going to need, and then all of a sudden it's like we got money but we don't really have like a plan, and so it just feels like a more opportunity for the money to get misappropriated and not actually go to the people if we don't know what the needs are. That's
I mean,
what
I'm glad
thinking.
the money is there. Don't get me wrong. Like, some is better than none. I'm strictly in that camp, absolutely. And I know that we do have some really good refugee programs in the city, specifically one that is helping women identified or female identified refugees coming into Seattle or into King County as well. So I see this as a good step forward, but it's one step and we got, say 26 miles to go. So this is a good step, but I say keep going, keep pushing. And as Pucks points out, what you gonna do with it now that you got it? Like who's in charge of that, and how are we gonna make sure that we get it to the most vulnerable members of the community?
You know, I remember the day before Pride, I seen this old clip of Marsha P. saying, "I want my gay rights now, honey, and I want them now." And I think about so many, and I think about how she passed from this community, right? And there's so many folks that have stories to tell that are coming to Seattle to receive their rights. So I'm super excited and happy for all the activists that made this possible. But I also want to thank so many of the Black trans women, trans men, non-binary folks that have been doing this advocacy for folks
For a
long
long
time.
time.
I definitely want to thank Tawaxin for making it telling folks automatically you need to prioritize us now.
Absolutely.
Lavender Rights Project, the work that you have done is a prime example of that as well. So I'm very excited about it. I hope that as we do this, we're able to mobilize together to make sure all folks feel prioritized and
Yeah.
have a safe place to land.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, that's the main part, is having a safe place to land. Safety isn't just like, oh, do I feel safe in this area? It's safety is, a roof over your head, food in your tummy, clean water to drink. It's not just I'm in a city that kinda has my back. It's all the things that provide security for a person. So I'm curious to see how it goes.
Okay, what about you?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I am excited, but I am watching.
Okay.
Because you got to watch and then you take the action. And right now I'm watching to see what they're going to do.
I feel like on the count of three, we should say we watching.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
We watching.
Watching.
Okay, clap it up for that. That was good. That was a unison. And speaking of which, because the city is very progressive, as they say. But this new one, A8, Andrew. I mean, not Andrew. Sorry. Andrew Ashiofu writes, if Seattle wants to be progressive, it must learn how to listen to Black voices, right? In this opinion piece, writer Andrew Ashiofu argues that Seattle's brand of progressiveness frequently acts as a gatekeeping system to dismiss black voices whenever they're challenged in dominant political narratives. Andrew also states that folks such as Joy Hollingsworth and Councilwoman Dionne Foster are constantly getting pushback and delays in community and not prioritized as black women in the space, right? And even with the ousting of Sean Barnes, despite support from him and the black community organizers. So what are your thoughts on that?
You know, Seattle, that
It's
one.
a,
That
it's
was
a lot,
a mess.
It's a lot to unpack.
It's a lot to unpack.
Yeah.
You go ahead and speak on
No,
that.
I was going to say that last one's a mess, and I am not qualified at this time to delve into that in any sort of intellectual way. So I'm just going to just give it the auntie. People need to fix some things. I mean, obviously, as you said, there's support and. But as far as being progressive and listening to black voices, there is this, it's not even a phenomenon, unfortunately. I think it is a habit in some quarters to, oh, I have my black friend in the room, so I can say and do whatever I want. Oh, my black friend is here, so I can say this thing, is said oftentimes by white liberals or white progressives. And it's like, just proximity to blackness doesn't make you right. It just makes you on my left. Do you know what I mean? And I think that is part of the problem in the city that perhaps that writer was trying to address as well. It's like, you know we're here, but are you listening?
Yeah, I mean, it's the difference between being an activist and being an ally. A lot of white progressives see allyship as something passive and not as like an active thing they're doing, because the word activist has act in
It's
it.
in the word.
It's in the word, you know, and so they feel like they can speak for, they can summarize for black folks, and I can speak for myself. I've been speaking for myself a really long time, probably a lot longer than my mom cares for. But like, you know, like it's just, and then I don't think it's lost on any of us here that black women's voices on council aren't being heard, or when we show any ounce of emotion, feeling, conviction about something, you know, that we're being told that we're not being illogical, that we're being emotional, that we're not coming from a place of authority and experience. You know, I truly believe that subconsciously or consciously, a lot of white progressives, a lot of white folks don't particularly see the intelligence or smartness of black folks. They see it as like trickery, as we're clever, but never actually the full intelligence of us to be able to speak for ourselves and do. So, this is, yeah, feelings.
A couple of months ago, with some of my outside work, I hosted an event called Beyond the Rainbow, and it was prioritizing the voices of black women in leadership. Far too often, we see black women be challenged more in their leadership, and their vision has to be, they're going on, some of the folks are going to city council and saying, well, you know, the civil rights that we're advocating for, you couldn't possibly understand because you don't have the blueprint. But these are black women that you're talking to, right?
Black women are the blueprint.
Yeah.
What are we even talking about?
Right.
We wrote the book
Right.
hundreds of years ago.
And I find it to be very harmful because and even being able to listen to those women on the panel, you could also hear how painful that is. You're talking about someone like Councilwoman Hollingsworth that is like 3-4 generations CD in this community, the very area that you gentrify, and then you want to come and talk to her about inclusivity and policy, like, and that doesn't mean I'm not telling my folks to not use their voice, and you don't have to always agree with everything, but the dog whistles of the racial undertones and the misogyny that comes out of people's mouths is crazy.
You know, well, they're always saying, you know, they want black women to save you. And then when black women have an opinion, you don't want to hear the opinion, but you want black women and black femmes to save you. Don't preach at us, just save us. And I'm like, nah, you're going to hear what I have to say. And I'm going to show you how to pick yourself up. Because my back is tired. My back is tired of carrying people that fight and claw and scream and yell at you the whole way for their safety, their security, their salvation. That's wild.
And I definitely want to send a huge, huge shout out to South Seattle Emerald. I didn't say which article it came out of. South Seattle Emerald. And voices such as Andrew Shiofu, who spent years, he ran for state rep, he ran for city council, and is currently with the LGBTQ Commission, just doing great dynamic work. So thank you for reminding folks of you're also in those rooms that might even sometimes be uncomfortable because you're the only one, but you are still prioritizing the voices of Black women. So definitely, can we clap it up for this article? Because I just think that it's great.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And we gonna take one little break, but we need to get into what the funk is going on next week, right? We're gonna get into what the funk's going on next week, and we're gonna take a break. You're watching the pop-up.
Experience the revitalized spirit of the Seattle waterfront at Coleman Commons, a premier event space where modern luxury meets local charm. Unwind in our serene wellness spaces or find inspiration browsing unique exhibits from local artists. Our space offers the perfect backdrop to connection with friends, neighbors, and community. Fit from everything from company galas to your girl's birthday party. Looking to book a space for your event? Visit ColemanCommons.com today.
Pride to me was more than just a celebration. It was an opportunity for folks to see the value in Black and brown communities, and above all else, belonging. So you see, community, that's what We Live in Color has always been about. For you to hear our hearts, see our minds, and above all else, see why Black media matters. Catch this and more on We Live in Color every Thursday on Converge Media streaming platforms.
They want this.
Yeah.
They know how important this is.
Yeah.
They know how historic this is. Anything that you put on this stage tonight, they're fucking grateful and lucky to see it and have it in their face.
It's a little Whitey McWhitey in the burlesque world.
We've been told for a long time, oh, there's no way you could possibly cast that many POC in one show because there aren't enough in the Pacific Northwest.
And it gives me extreme pleasure and all of my parts to be here with you tonight, hosting night 2 of What the Fuck? And All BIPOC Burlesque Festival.
And welcome back to the pop-up. What you just seen was magic. That was the documentary, What the Funk, A Letter of Love to the PLC Community. And I'm sitting here with Mix Pucks Aplenty and Rebecca M. Davis as we get ready for What the Funk Fest next week.
Yes.
Before we get into some of the questions, what was it like shooting that documentary?
That documentary was shot back the first year we did the festival in 2019. So we had no idea the pandemic was coming. We didn't know any of that was coming. So we were just excited and happy to be all in the same space together to see this experiment, come to life. We had the opportunity to work with Columbia City Theater, and that was a big deal. But I feel like a baby when I look at them. Oh, baby pucks. I was still really unsure about myself. I didn't feel really confident. I was really nervous. I was coming to terms with a really deep trauma that was happening in my life. So there's a lot going on. And so when I look at that, I see that, and I also see there's performers that passed away that are in this video, that are in the documentary, performers that we don't speak to anymore.
Hey y'all, look at us, still popping up.
Right. And it is a very crystallized time capsule. In the documentary, people are drinking from the same cups. It's a lot of pre-COVID stuff happening in there. So it is a weird time capsule, for sure.
And people came.
Yeah, they came.
People came from across the country.
They did.
That was Crocodile Lightning that came from Chicago because we said so. Because we said, look, here is an amazing thing. Would you like to be part of an amazing thing? And people came from literally all across the country. I mean, I don't think we had anybody international that first year.
No.
But that's, looking at it now, it's amazing that we were like, in Seattle, we are doing this thing for the black and the brown people. And it will be funky. And you will love it.
And it was funky.
It was funky. And we didn't necessarily have anything but our own sense of self to back it up. We had the music to back us up. Like, that's
Yes, we
where we got
did.
the strength for it, is the music. It's like,
Yes.
if all else fails, Rick James has you, you know.
Well, okay, Rick James. But, you know, that's a long time to be putting this together, to be working together, right? Partnerships sometimes can be the hardest thing, sometimes, especially as we're curating. You said, hey, there's some folks that ain't here no more. How important has this partnership been?
Ooh, I'm going to go first. Okay. So important. Because the nature, my basic nature is to work, I like to work with folks. And if you find somebody as wonderful as Mix Pucks to work with, then you are blessed beyond belief. And so basically, they had the dream, they had the vision, and I said, how about it? Shall we do this thing? And they said yes, and this is the truncated version of it all. But I mean, I was so excited to be inspired by this human over here, and continue to be inspired by this human over here, who was like, well, I've only been doing this for 3 years, but I have this huge dream. And then that dream became another dream, became another dream. I mean, in your intro, they mentioned that you now produce festivals, plural.
Yes.
And how many shows had you produced up to that point?
Like 2.5, maybe 3, you know?
Yeah. But the glow and the aura, and you dream big, and I was like, let me hook onto that star. Let's go some places. I would like to go with you. So I feel very blessed and very lucky to be sitting here yet again. So
Rebecca and Davis is that cool queer aunt that that's always going to support the weird stuff that you come up with. Like, your parents are supposed to tell you, like, nah, maybe think of something a little more realistic. Rebecca's like, oh, you want to go ice skating in a rainbow? Sure. You know,
I might ask you, do you want your coat? And then you tell me no, and I'm like, okay, no coat.
let's go.
Out you go.
Like, you know, deciding that I was going to do a burlesque festival back in 2018, I had really nothing to go on. I hadn't even been at a burlesque festival yet. Like, I'd been accepted, but hadn't even gone to one yet. And, you know, it's a pretty big deal for someone to reach out and just be like, hey, I see that you're doing this thing. Do you need help? And that's what Rebecca did. Like, Rebecca pulled me aside and was just like, hey, you're doing this thing. Do you need help? And I'm like, oh, and I let go of this breath I didn't even know I was holding. Like, I don't have to do this on my own. I can do this with someone that sees what I'm doing and you know, wants to help me make it happen. And so we've been doing this thing now for, this will be our 7th festival now. And then we added Stormy Chance to the mix, who's based in the Bay, about 4 years ago now. And like, it's just,
But Stormy was at the very first one.
Yes.
Because I remember you saying their government name. You're like, this is so-and-so from Atlanta at the time,
Yes,
weren't they?
yes.
Wasn't Minnesota, they're from Atlanta. And they'd come out because this one has the glow and the spark, and was like, I want you to be a part of this. And they said, yes, I would like to be a part of it. And now they're a producer too.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's beautiful. And then sharing, you know, I mean, being able to share the space with folks. Like, you are also leading, you're also a part of this ecosystem, which is extremely important. You know, there are folks that might have a hard time, you know, with building relationships. I mean, we all done been through a pandemic and trauma and all of those things. But what advice could y'all give to community folks about, like, what makes a powerhouse partnership? Because this is a powerhouse partnership.
You know, finding people whose like ethics and vision align with your own personal ethics and vision, I think, is the biggest thing. Like, you know, if one of you feels things, you can just, you know, do things a little sketchy and cut corners, and the other one's like, no, we got to be by the book, you're gonna run into a lot of walls trying to make things happen. So I think that for me, that's always been the big, like, one of the best things about working with Rebecca and also working with Stormy is that our ethics align and our kind of our own personal vision of like what we want to see in the world. I think is like a big thing. Also, we're all good at very different things, which is beautiful. And there's like, there's actually the teeniest bit of overlap on those things. So I never feel like I have to carry everything, and I hope they don't feel like they have to carry everything. But, you know, it's nice to be able to do a trust fall and know that, like, if things get really complicated or hard, if you say, hey, I actually can't get that thing to you today, can you wait a few days? And everyone's like, yeah, sure, it's good. Or, hey, where's that file at? I can finish it. And I always feel like I don't have to...
You didn't do all the things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have to do everything.
Yeah. And the thing that was also very important to me in working with Pucks, and the fact that Pucks had an idea and allowed me to be part of this grand idea, is at that point in Seattle performance and in burlesque specifically, there were not a lot of burlesque producers of color. I think the number was 1, maybe 2.
We had Brick
maybe
House.
2.
Yeah, shout out to
So
Brick.
at least we had the guys Brick House, and then like whatever thing I might do in a minute. But there was nobody else who wanted to do it or who was going to do it and focus on community and uplifting both the art form and the people in the same way. And I was like, yes, let's do that, because I'm a few years older than some. So in Seattle, I in my 20s and 30s especially, was very used to being that speck of pepper in a plate of salt. And so it was heartening to me on a very deep soul level to be able to work with people in community and to be a part of a community, especially a burlesque community, especially a queer community. So I don't take any of that for granted. And that's one of the things also that is that keeps us going, I think.
Yeah.
It was showing this to people, because people will see us and say, oh, wait, maybe I could do that too.
Yeah,
you
it's
know?
possible.
Or I see me up there, you know?
Right, and I think that's important too, because like these past 7 years, it is amplified, and folks can see themselves. And I think that most of the time, we're in some cases, and I've done this before, where we put on an event and I can't continue because the support might not be there, or being able to get those calls with that one person who you did touch.
Yeah.
You know, and I kind of want to go a little back and talk about what the Funk Fest and what made you to say, this is it. I done had enough of this. I done had enough of all this stuff. Me not being prioritized. I'm about to prioritize all of us.
Tell them.
The story of What the Funk and how I got started. It comes from what I call an act of oppressed pettiness. There was a white producer here in Seattle who produced a real, a classic burlesque show at the Rendezvous, and basically told me that funk music wouldn't be considered classic enough for her show.
See, it didn't matter what the act was, that the act was classic, that
Yeah.
the movements were classic. It was the music.
And I was just like, nah, okay. And so I decided that wasn't for me. And so I started thinking, I want a show that's all full of funk music. And I think to really stick it to this person, I was just like, I'm going to cast 2 nights, and they're going to be all people of color. And so we did a 2-night show at the Rendezvous back in 2018. Rebecca was one of our MCs, and so was Cafe Ole Ole, who's also another MC, burlesque performer, and actress in Seattle. And it was beautiful. We had performers from up and down the PNW, and
And I will say that's probably the first and only time up to that point that I had ever been in a space with all POC burlesque performers.
Wow.
Yeah.
It wasn't just like me and one other person. It was everybody.
Yeah.
And that sense of community was amazing, and it was transformative for me.
Yeah, the green room experience was unreal, because I had never experienced I left my foundation at home, and someone in this room was going to have some foundation that's going to work, right? And so that's how we started. But I tell folks all the time that What the Funk is possible because of Brick House and Cinderella Rosa and the Sunday Night Sugar Shack. And you get the Sunday Night Sugar Shack because you have Dr. Ginger Snaps, who was one of the very first Black burlesque performers, neo burlesque performers, who ended up getting her doctorate talking about, queer nightlife and how it uplifts our community. So, I get to stand with really amazing Black and brown femmes who made the building blocks for us. And then What the Funk goes on to be this festival, and it's inspired other festivals. So there is an all BIPOC hip hop burlesque fest in New York called Boombox Burlesque.
Love it.
And they exist because they were inspired by What the Funk. So we get to continue this legacy that was, birthed by Sunday Night Sugar Shack, that was birthed by Dr. Ginger Snaps. And
It's a spirit. It's a community spirit of paying it forward, not gatekeeping it. Not like, oh, it's just ours. It's like, no, everybody should do this. Everybody should come to this. Everybody should enjoy this.
Yeah, and I wanted to ask too. What's some of the misconceptions about burlesque?
oh my gosh, that burlesque is really white. Burlesque is really white.
Or was created by white people.
Or created by white people. Burlesque is inspired by a lot of different things, but the classic burlesque era had so many black burlesque performers. They just weren't allowed to be called burlesque performers. So you have like shake dancers, or they were called the exotics, things like that. You have you had the Chitlin circuit where the burlesque performers were going around. Josephine Baker, gets a lot of credit for being like an actress and a singer, but not enough credit for being an OG burlesque performer,
right?
And queer.
International.
Yes, right? She had to leave the U.S. to be seen and received, in her fullness, as a black woman doing her art. And like, that's not lost on me, I think the other misconception is that that it's all, feathers and boas, or it's all this. People are doing burlesque to all kinds of music, like funk music, hip hop. But, there's a little bit of everything kind of mixed into it. One of our Grandmaster Funks, Android Allure, won incorporating Vogue into their act, so there is bringing our queer culture, bringing our black culture, we've had folks perform to who performed to Latin funk, performed to Brazilian funk, all these things.
A little bit of gospel,
right?
Time.
Gospel, right?
Oh,
they're
yes.
bringing all of this into the space to tell our stories. It's phenomenal, and right now
it's not just being naked all the time. I think sometimes people think it's like you're going to come out and just be naked and walk across the stage, and it's like, well, technically yes, but before that, and also no, not totally naked, because that's the misconception too, I think, is that everybody's naked all the time. That's not how it works. It's a wink, a smile, it's a tease. I'm sorry, I had to jump in there.
No,
with
it's
that one.
true. And also the other thing I think that kind of I've noticed is that a lot of black and brown audience members don't come out to burlesque shows, I think, because of these misconceptions, but also, I think there's a lot of policing of black and brown bodies, and our bodily autonomy, and our access to sexual pleasure and desire and all of that.
And that is so real. As a person that is in recovery, right? I spent very many years of not thinking that I can be that I could be sexy or be out loud with whatever I was. So a lot of that was kind of closed in. And I remember when I got out of treatment, just kind of being around Brick and also coming to the prom, or you know what I mean?
Yes.
And meeting with folks like Sherab and Dion in the Onyx community. I was able to learn more about that this was trauma.
Yeah.
Right? And then and watching my community be free and clear-minded.
Yes.
And that was just a lot. So it's I feel like when I watch burlesque and watch specifically black and brown folks do burlesque, it's such a liberating experience, because there's so many things that people have done to our bodies, and now we are giving ourselves permission to be free. And that's what I get every time when I see a burlesque performer perform gospel numbers.
Yes.
Because it's wow, this is spiritual. You know what I mean? And I know people, I don't care what they say in the comments, but that's what I feel when I do go.
It's true. Literally was just at Sugar Shack this past Sunday, and Isaiah Esquire, who is a queer black man from Portland, did this amazing act that was all about like a church lady, and it was everything. You had people like singing and clapping in the aisles as if they were at church because they were at Black church. It's the church of sexual liberation and freedom. It's just amazing. And so like there's so much repression and so much put on our bodies of what, I always say that my existence was politicized against my will from the first breath I took, and burlesque is political. That's another misconception. I really want people to realize it's political because most of the bodies that are on the stage have some kind of something politically charged about what they can and can't do with their bodies. Whether if you're a woman, if you're trans, if you're non-binary, if you're queer, if you're Black, if you're brown, somebody is trying to tell you what you can and can't do, who you can't love. And so it is political just to breathe and exist in that space on that stage.
Absolutely.
We have the agency. The
do.
agency is ours. We have agency over our bodies. You have agency over your body. And this is what we are choosing to do with ours. And we want you to celebrate it with us, as we're going to celebrate it whether you're here or not.
Okay, and we're going to be doing some celebrating next week. So we're going to kind of go into the things of next week and also just talk about, we kind of talked about it a little bit. Like, today it's been great to come on the pop-up too and then talk about queer folks in our community. So we're going to unpack a little bit about that. This is What the Funk week for the next 2 weeks, okay? So tap in, you watching the pop-up.
Pride to me was more than just a celebration. It was an opportunity for folks to see the value in Black and brown communities, and above all else, belonging. So you see, community, that's what We Live in Color has always been about. For you to hear our hearts, see our minds, and above all else, see why Black media matters. Catch this and more on We Live in Color every Thursday on Converge Media streaming platforms.
Black women in Washington face more than twice the risk of syphilis in 2024, but cases are falling as we learn the facts and look out for ourselves. Yet 1 in 10 pregnant cases were among Black women, but more than half of potential congenital cases were prevented with early care. Early testing makes a difference. Get tested and protect yourself. Protect your child. Protect the community.
Discover the new heartbeat of Seattle's waterfront at Coleman Commons, the Emerald City's premier event space where culture, creativity, and community come together. Looking to book a new space for your event? Visit ColemanCommons.com today.
When our community seeks answers, we just don't report the news. We hold the space for the solutions. The Pop-Up, bringing you face-to-face with policymakers, change makers, moving your city forward. Unfiltered, unapologetic, and essential. And now, we're going to come to you a little bit earlier. Tune into the Pop-Up weeknights at 7 p.m., where culture meets Converge.
Welcome back to the pop-up. I was about to say We Live in Color because we just... Wow, that's so amazing. That was 6 years ago.
6 years ago, yeah.
Do you remember? That was I believe that was like my 5th episode.
Yes. I was really nervous, and so much has changed. Like I look at those clips, I'm like, oh, my face. I was diagnosed with Bell's palsy 3 years ago. I lost the muscle function in the left side of my face. So looking at like the old documentary stuff, looking at like just clips from like 6 years ago, like I can see how much I've changed. And the thing that hasn't changed is like my love for funk music. That hasn't changed. But yeah, Also, my little vest thing was really cute.
That was
that was given.
I thought
That
you
was
gotta
given.
bring that back.
And can we please talk about too how the seats are more comfortable? 'Cause
Yes.
remember we were sitting up high.
Yes. This is nice and comfortable.
Right.
Yeah,
Yes.
good back support.
Y'all come a long way too.
Right, absolutely.
The glow up is real, y'all.
Absolutely. Shout out to my director, Eric Calligraphy. 2 Emmys down over there. So
Come
clap it up for
on,
Eric.
yes.
Eric is also an artist and got some really cool stuff that's coming out
ooh,
down
yes,
the
hey.
turnpike.
Yeah.
Speaking of art, next week is the week.
Yes. It sneaks up on me every time.
Right, but
Every time.
so exciting. Tell us about What the Funk.
Okay,
Next week.
so with the Funk, we're back at the Triple Door in downtown Seattle, which is amazing because when you think about, when I think about like big burlesque shows in Seattle, I think the Triple Door. That's where I saw my very first burlesque show, and I thought there's no way I could ever, one, do burlesque, and two, ever be up on that stage. And I remember when we went to go and look at the Triple Door for the first time, we found out they were going to let us do the show there. And we were walking on the stage that first time and just being so overwhelmed. Like, it's a big stage. And I'm like, man, they're going to let us be in the big room. Yay, Mom. Like, it was a big deal. But with the Funk this year, we're really excited. We have a new band this year. And Miss Flo, I'm really excited to work with her. Our opening night show, we always have a live band for that show. And then we have night 2, which is our showcase, and then night 3 is our Grandmaster Funk competition. You're gonna be one of our guest judges.
I am gonna be one of the judges. I'm so excited, and I'm also gonna bring the Narcan because you asked me for it.
Yes, please.
You brought it.
Listen,
Thank
this
you,
is really
safety
important
captain.
to us, right? Safety captain, yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
No,
Yes.
Clap it up for the Narcan.
Come on.
that is the world we live in, and I'm so grateful to you for that. So
Yeah.
thank you very much for that.
Absolutely.
I think it's really important that we make sure that we prioritize. Like, we don't know where everybody's going after, but at the
Or
same,
where they've come from.
right, absolutely, and it's so important that we make sure that we don't know how to take. If anybody knows how to take care of us, it's us.
It's
And I
us.
think it's just being able to provide that resource. It should just be no different from us passing out condoms or just flyer reminders. Just a reminder, this can save somone's life. So thank you,
Absolutely.
Pucks, because I remember I got 40 for you. So
Yes, thank you.
Fantastic.
Yeah, over the years, we just started thinking more and more and more about how we can show up and support our performers. We usually have about half of our performers are from like the Seattle, Puget Sound, Pacific Northwest area, and then the other 50% are from all over the country and Canada. Sometimes we're fortunate enough to have people from overseas.
We had somebody from England last year.
We did.
Cheerio.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
I know. I just said
He
that
was
word.
Yeah. And it's been difficult with, all of the immigration stuff right now especially for our Canadian performers.
I have to tell them, it's like, funk is important and community is important, but it's not more important than you.
Yeah.
And the fear is real. It's like why people who would like to come and funk with it, and it's not important enough to risk your life or getting thrown into detention jail, and that's the reality that we have today.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's not gonna be forever, but I understand. It's like, please don't risk your life for the funk. And they're like, yeah, no, well, I wasn't gonna.
And let me ask this too. Y'all started this before the pandemic, then you went through the pandemic, then having to navigate it post-pandemic, and then now here we are, and I feel like there's just like we are living in a state of, it's fearful for a lot of our most impacted communities. How do you organize around that?
It's really, really hard. Like it's emotionally hard. It's physically hard. It's all the things. We feel fortunate enough that we live in Seattle, and we're like, oh, it's sort of this liberal, safe haven bubble. But ICE is still snatching people up off these streets. So we're definitely telling people to travel in groups. We arrange a lot of transportation stuff to help our performers get around.
I think it's important that it still happens.
Yeah.
Because they cannot snatch our joy, and they cannot snatch our community, and they cannot snatch our love. They don't get to. They don't have the right, and they don't have the power. Absolutely not. And I think that one of the best things that we do with this festival is to inspire and to bring our people together.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, joy in the face of your dehumanization is a radical. It's a radical act. It's frightening to the other side, who feels that they are like that they have some power over you. They can't break our spirit, and like what the funk is all about. I haven't met a single person that has mean mugged through a funk song before. Like, you end up smiling, you end up dancing, you end up moving your feet. It's generational. I got to see George Clinton and Funkadelic a couple times in the past few years, once with Rebecca over at the Paramount. But the year before that, I got to see them at the zoo, the Woodland Park Zoo. They were at the zoo, and it was amazing because you saw like little babies dancing, you know, up into like elderly people dancing, and everyone in between. Like, it's so intergenerational.
And it's like, you know, when I think about what y'all are doing too, it's also like a history lesson for some folks that probably was listening to Joni Mitchell and probably don't know much about Rosetta Tharpe or some of our great folks that are out here doing amazing, creating amazing music.
Yeah.
So the next question to y'all is like, how does it feel knowing that you're preserving Black art?
It makes me so happy. Like, you know, one of the reasons why I think we had that misconception that burlesque is so white is that he holds the camera, controls the narrative. You know, he holds the pen, controls the narrative, and so they weren't taking pictures of the black and brown performers. So,
or if they were, they weren't. You know, you know that they'll have it in one tone, and you know, the
lighting was not adjusted for different skin tones at all. Yeah,
and so we have documented every single What the Funk in video and photography, and I try to get the best photographers we can, and we've been really fortunate to work with Keith Johnson for the last 7 years now, and Daniel Chang for the last 5, going on 6, and they understand the assignment, and they make my performers look beautiful and amazing, and they send me high quality video and pictures, and so I'm able to share these pictures with our performers. We share them online. I keep them in an archive, and it's really important to me that we do that. You know, I have been collecting all of our posters because I want to send them to the Burlesque Hall of Fame so they can be preserved there. There's a new exhibit called Everybody Wants to Be a Showgirl, and it's really focusing on black and brown burlesque, and so they have a couple of What the Funk posters, a part of, curated part of their show that's going around the country right now. So we live on that way. We live on through the documentary, and
visibility is very, very important.
Yeah.
Very, very important.
And Aphrodite's everywhere.
Yes, yes.
And okay,
Yeah,
where's my damn shirt?
We need to get
Is
you
the
a shirt,
is the
right?
question.
We'll get it for you.
Yeah.
Give me
What
some.
size you want? We'll get you a shirt.
Well, I'm a one size fits all, honey. Whatever.
Okay.
Make it work.
Right.
I mean, that's what we do. We get you a shirt.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I really appreciate that.
Sure.
So,
Listen.
oh yeah, Eric wanted large.
We'll get one of these What the Funk
We
t-shirts.
heard it.
Right. And honestly, Eric, what you doing next week? Eric,
come on
with me.
through,
Eric,
please.
You got 3 nights to choose from, but I suggest you choose all 3.
Yeah, and we are going to get into all 3 nights.
Yeah.
too.
Because that's the thing, is every night is different. Every single year is different. Every single show is different. So our first night this year will not be the same as the first night of any other year.
Yeah.
It's brand new every
time.
time.
Well, we're going to get into all 3 nights in just a moment. We're going to take one last break, and we'll be right back. You watching the pop-up.
Show up for each other. In the barbershop, at home, in the group chat, we check in. Not just you good, but really good. Because the health of your friends and family matter, and they need you to check in. Healthy men keep each other safe. And real ones check in on the ones we love. Because when we tap in, we stay healthy together.
When our community seeks answers, we just don't report the news. We hold the space for the solutions. The Pop-Up, bringing you face-to-face with policymakers, change makers, moving your city forward. Unfiltered, unapologetic, and essential. And now, we're going to come to you a little bit earlier. Tune into the Pop-Up weeknights at 7 p.m. where culture meets Converge.
Experience the revitalized spirit of the Seattle waterfront at Coleman Commons, a premier event space where modern luxury meets local charm. Unwind in our serene wellness spaces or find inspiration browsing unique exhibits from local artists. Our space offers the perfect backdrop to connection with friends, neighbors, and community. Fit from everything from company galas to your girl's birthday party. Looking to book a space for your event? Visit ColemanCommons.com today.
Oh, that was a little echo. Visit Coleman Commons today. Welcome back to the pop-up. We are just getting ready to wrap up, y'all. But what the funk? What the funk?
Yes.
What are we doing all 3 days?
All right. So what we're doing. So opening night, like we said, is with the band. That is on August the 20th at the Triple Door, y'all. And we're really excited. We have 3 headliners for you. We have Lola Lo Soleil, who we've been trying to get in Seattle now for like 6 years. This woman's amazing. From Atlanta, Georgia. She's incredible. She actually designed costumes for Black Panther.
Okay.
The film, right?
Wait a minute. Okay.
Yes. So we got someone in the house. We have Chola Magnolia from Austin, Texas. And we have Switch, the Boy Wonder from Chicago. Yes. And then our feature guest, we have Elisa Lane from Las Vegas, Nevada, y'all. And then our locals, we have Demonica Leone from Tacoma, from the Gritty City, y'all. And Luna Levens, who is based in Seattle. Our 2 special guests this year, we have Pochop from Chicago, phenomenal performer, and then we have Queerly Femtastic from New York. Okay. And then our MCs, all 3 nights, of course, we have Rebecca on night 3, which is the Grandmaster Funk night. On night 2, we welcome back Pinot Noir, who was our Grandmaster Funk 2021. And new to us, but not new to Seattle, we have Uncle Nick. Is going to be emceeing opening night, and for folks who are not familiar, Uncle Nick has been a part of Legendary Children for years now, and is now the co-producer of the Chocolate Box Review down in Tucson, Arizona. So really excited about that. But like Rebecca was saying, every night's different. Every night's something new. The live band's my favorite because folks just go out there and keep playing with that band until they get tired. They walk off when they're finished. And night 2 is always great because folks, it's usually our prop heavy night. People bring in the really cool props. And then, of course, on night 3, we're going to crown a Grandmaster Funk. And
we don't just crown them. I mean, they perform, and then the group of judges will.
Yes, they do the thing.
The criteria.
I sure shall.
Judge.
And Brick done taught me how to, size somebody
Score
up.
'em
So
and
we
size
gonna
them. Do 'em.
fairly, and I'm gonna do it fairly. And I'm just really excited about this event. But I want folks to be able to tap in with y'all. So I don't think we've ever done this. We're gonna do it twice, okay? So I'm gonna have Puck. You go first.
Right.
We're gonna live right there in the middle camera.
Perfect.
Middle here.
Right here. So y'all want to check out at What the Funk Fest on Instagram. And you also want to go to whatthefunkfest.com. And you want to get your tickets. Right now, we're really lucky. The City of Seattle and For Culture allowed us to be able to provide discounted tickets for the event. So $25 tickets for general admission all 3 nights of What the Funk. So go check that out. We're at the Triple Door. If you want to follow me and know what I'm up to, what I'm doing, you can follow me at Pucks Aplenty on Instagram or mixpucksaplenty.com. And when I'm not out here doing this What the Funk thing, I'm doing FatCon and Fat Less Fest Northwest. And if you're like FatCon's the biggest fat liberation conference in the Pacific Northwest, and it happens here in Seattle every year.
I'm gonna have to have you come back for that now.
Oh, it's sweet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, and then Rebecca M. Davis, we're gonna have you look right there in the middle camera. We're gonna do some promo. Side camera.
I am on the side camera. And you want me just to tell the people what's happening?
Right.
Yeah, where to find you?
Oh, where to find me?
What you doing?
Right there. There you
Me?
go.
What? Me? What? Well, make sure you have all the very important information. What the Funk Fest next week, August 20th, 21st, and 22nd at the Triple Door here in Seattle, Washington. please come. There's a parking garage right next door. It couldn't be simpler. Also, we've just discovered, thanks to some fantastic grants, we've got $25 tickets, general admission tickets, not a bad seat in the house, so please won't you come on and see that. If you want to get a hold of me or the Stay Up Late Show, which is one of the co-producers of this whole fantastic finery, you can find us at RebeccaMDavis.com/The Stay Up Late Show, or go to the Instagram, The Stay Up Late Show, because you will stay up late. Show.
Yes.
They're not all good.
That is
not all good.
That was amazing. And, again, partnerships are so important. And you could feel the love between the both of you with being able to create space for so many folks one night, because it turned into activism and also turned into something that's happening around the nation. So just want to shout y'all out for that. But before we get out of here, Rebecca, if you can do me a favor and, give some words of encouragement to Mix Pucks.
Some words of encouragement
to me.
To you.
As y'all are embarking on this week.
And to do what?
Next week. As y'all are embarking
As
on
we're
this
embarking
next
next,
week.
the words of encouragement to you. Two things. Do the damn thing. No, not even two, just the one. Just do the damn thing.
Do the damn thing.
And we are here for you, and we are here to support you. And I am always the one. Sometimes we've been on shows together, traveling different places, and I'd be hosting, and they'll be in there, and I am the one backstage yelling, "That's my friend! That's my friend!" as they tear up stages across the country and across Canada, actually, one year. Yeah.
Yeah, we were on a roll
Yeah,
that year.
I'm telling you.
I love that.
I have nothing but love and supreme confidence in all the things that you do. And I'm so glad I get to be a part of this. So
don't make me
do
cry?
the damn thing. Do it.
Do it. Do the damn thing.
Do it.
And Pucks.
Oh, and drink water. You told me
and
to
drink
remind
some
you.
water. I need some right now.
You told me to remind you. Drink the water.
Pucks into Rebecca.
Don't.
Oh, Rebecca.
It's so hard.
Davis. Davis. Let us know how we can show up for you.
You here?
Just let us know. Always. I have so much love for you, and I love how much you continue to show up for this festival year after year. So let us know how we can show up for you.
Now I'm going to cry over here.
Love you.
This is your fault. I
No,
love you
know,
too.
because
I think
I think it's really important too. I know we're about to get out of here, but it's always just really important. Sometimes I think we have that goal of making sure that an event is successful, but as Black and brown folks in communities, sometimes we need that pouring in, and we need viewers to also see that too. Like, what you do in the back end is something that we need to also show in the front end,
Absolutely.
right? So just really want to just thank both of you for not only coming onto the pop-up, but also asking me to be a judge. I'm honored.
Yes, we're excited to have you.
Honored. And then another thing, Mix Pucks, you as a Grand Marshal in 2023, that was right after we met.
Yeah.
And it was such an honor to also be a Grand Marshal in that space and share space with someone that is also a part of history.
Yes.
So just want to say, let's just continue to get community aligned with what's happening, what's happening, and also just pour into each other, because we've always done that with each other.
I love you so much, and I'm really glad that we both get to be a part of that special club.
Yeah.
Of Black ass folks that got to be
Right.
Grand Marshals of the Seattle Pride Parade.
Yeah.
I do. I appreciate
Absolutely.
it. And I love you so much.
I love you too, and just unapologetically Black, right?
Yes.
And just appreciate y'all, and we'll see y'all next week.
Yes, indeed.
And we'll see y'all tomorrow on the pop-up, y'all. And also, we live in color, so I get to come on to y'all at 7, and then I get to come on at 8. So double Deaunte tomorrow. Walk with love. Have a good night.